This is Evan Sharpley with Tom Loy for Irish247. It's obviously a big weekend for Notre Dame recruiting. Tom, what do you got for us?
Well, the #1 player in the country, Foster Sarell, is here out of Washington. You know, he looked to have a good time when I was watching him. I tried to pay pretty good, close attention to it. He's being hosted by Tommy Kramer. I love that matchup. I think that those two guys they're not really into the whole recruiting process. They're more focused on just kind of making a decision, and that's why people ask me, why isn't he committed to Washington already? Why isn't he committed to Stanford? I think Notre Dame's a legit player in this race. Like I said, despite the loss, he had a good time. I think he's definitely a guy to just keep an eye on moving forward. And Grant Delpit, obviously a late addition that we mentioned last night at Irish247.com. Excuse the wind, get a little wild out here. But Grant Delpit's a guy to keep an eye on as well. He's been extremely positive to the Notre Dame coaching staff. He's at IMG Academy. They've landed a couple guys from there. They landed Robert Haynes in this class, and those two are really tight. You know, they spent a lot of time together during this game. They sat right next to each other. So he's in his ear. Haynes is all over Delpit. There's a need for safety. They showed it tonight. One thing that was a positive for a guy like that, the defense played well.
Absolutely.
So when you talk about Grant Delpit and everybody, obviously they lost, but they gave up 17 points. They played well. So I keep an eye on him. Elijah Hicks, I think if there's a best bet out of this class to possibly end up out of this group this weekend to end up in Notre Dame, Elijah Hicks is the guy. He was having a great time up there with his family in the recruiting section, just all smiles, just, singing the alma mater at the end, doing all that stuff. So he was a guy that I would pay very close attention to. I don't necessarily think he's going to commit this weekend by any chance, but he wants to visit Cal because he says he's a man of his word, and he told the DB coach there that he would take that visit. He's also keeping a close eye on Washington, but I think at this point, I know myself, Steve Wilfong, I think we feel really good about him, Elijah Hicks, ending up at Notre Dame.
Well, Tom, there's still some of the weekend left. What do they have planned for the recruits for the rest of the weekend?
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be spending time with their hosts. Like Elijah Hicks is going to be hosted by Javon McKinley, and Kramer is going to host Foster Sarell. So they're going to go out with those guys, spend some time there. I know Hicks's family actually just stopped over to Brothers to grab some food. So, yeah, that's just, they're going to be getting to know. They're going to do some meetings on Sunday before they head home. So it's just going to be basically getting acclimated and to Notre Dame, both as a student and as a football player. And then before they leave on Sunday, get their final pitch from Brian Kelly of, hey, come play for us because we need you.
Well, for Tom Loy, I'm Evan Sharpley. Make sure you stay locked to Irish247.com.